Hi everyone, Michael Clayton here. You're joining me on the Michael Clayton live show right here from the comfort of my own home. Today we have a hot topic. We're talking about the N95 mask and the coronavirus and those who are on the front lines every single day. I'm joined today by Dr. Uhuru Smith, Chief of Anesthesiology at Advanced Surgery Center of Tampa. She joins us now to kind of give us an inside track on something that her staff has developed that could potentially help this epidemic of a shortage of the N95 mask. Doc, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start with what you do on a day-to-day basis and how you are such an expertise at PPE.
So anesthesiologists are not just responsible for putting patients to sleep and waking up. Anesthesiologists are heavily trained in critical care and ICU medicine. Many anesthesiologists will run the critical care departments of hospitals. In addition to that, we hold positions in patient safety, oftentimes the chiefs of patient safety at large hospitals and at whatever institutions we are. So patient safety is one of my number one jobs that I'm responsible for at my facility. We evaluate patient safety for surgery, but we also evaluate the environment around to make sure that the patients are safe. So when something like this happens and we are in need of certain type of equipment, or in this case, the N95 masks or proper PPE, that is number one on my list of something that I need to make sure is happening for my patients and for my staff.
So what prompted you to find an alternative form of personal protective equipment?
Well, there is a very, very large national shortage. In the outpatient surgery world, it would be very unusual for us to staff that kind of equipment on a regular basis. And then when we went to go and order what it was that we needed, there was a national shortage. There was no way for us to get the masks. So anesthesiologists all over the country have been diligently working on alternatives. I myself have made an alternative out of some equipment in the operating room that I use for my staff. For when we're at the highest risk, when patients are going to sleep and waking up, and we had to kind of jerry-rig those parts together from our anesthesia machine. I then have a colleague at University of Florida, Dr. Sonia Mehta, and she has patented and come up with a mask that is 4% more effective than the N95 mask that is used from surgical drapes here that are typically, this is what they look like. They're typically discarded at the end of use, and they're very, very lightly used. So Dr. Mehta and her colleagues at the University of Florida have designed a mask that can be very quickly made. One sheet of this fabric here can make as many as 10 masks. And in a large hospital, it wouldn't be unusual for as many as 500 sheets of this to be thrown away in the trash. So that is 5,000 masks. This material, polypropylene, can be sterilized and used again. It can be the pattern. It can be made very quickly by a seamstress within just a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes for a good seamstress. And this is something that could solve the shortage, at least for the moment, until we get our shipments of our N95 masks. We could be making these right here, right now, and giving them to our staff.
If you had to guess across the country of how many hospitals may be overlooking this easy method, you say that there are actually, tons of this material that are being thrown away. If you had to guess, what percentage would you say probably don't even or not taking advantage of this opportunity to make the mask out of that specific material?
I would say if you would have asked me, if you would have asked me 5 days ago, I would have said 99% of hospitals. But now that, people like you and the media and the social media have been helping out to get this information out, I would say maybe we've got about 85%, 80% of people still don't know. But we're kind of picking up traction, and it's only taken a couple days for it to pick up traction. So just today alone, I was able to save 5 sheets of this and drop it off at a seamstress this afternoon, and by Friday morning, I will have 30 masks, enough for my staff, whereas today I had 0. So This is a problem that we can solve on an individual basis pretty quickly. I have another colleague that's working on a combination respirator and mask that she has made from a scuba mask. And that is Dr. Herman at Thomas Jefferson University and her colleagues. And that is potentially a solution, not just for the physicians that are having to gear up completely and work intense for very, very long periods of time, and it's very difficult to breathe through a small mask. This is actually a respirator, whole face coverage, and will deliver some air through the system so that the emergency medicine doctors and the critical care doctors can breathe more easily. But there also may be an opportunity to turn that into a ventilator. But that's what we're doing. I mean, we're making things in our garage to try to solve this problem of PPE.
How important is it for people, actually, like just the common citizens, to wear masks? I see people from other countries, from China, Japan, they come and they always are having masks on. Are we looking at an epidemic like that where people should be wearing masks, or should we be staying away from people with masks? Because my wife's a doctor and I've kind of heard both stories and I kind of want to get your opinion on that.
Yes. So this is actually, it's very interesting that you asked that question because this is a very hot topic right now. In fact, if you go to the CDC's website, that's one of the first things that come up on their website is whether or not we should be wearing masks. So according to the CDC right now, they say that there's no information to suggest that people should go out wearing masks. Now, have my opinion, you're asking for my opinion. In my opinion, I don't think that people should just blanketly wear masks for one reason. One main reason is that a regular surgical mask or a bandana or what have you is not going to protect you from this virus. It's very, very tiny and it can pass through regular mask and regular fabric very easily. Now, if you are going to the grocery store, for example, and you have chronic allergies and you sneeze every 30 seconds, then you might want to wear a mask or you're going to terrify the people in the grocery store and they're going to be calling the authorities on you. So I think that's a circumstance where a mask might make sense. And then in more serious circumstances, if you're someone that's immune compromised, we have patients frequently that are transplant patients and things of that nature, and they go and they wear masks, and I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Now, is it going to protect them from COVID? Well, based on the science, the answer is no. But does it make sense for someone who's immune compromised like that to wear a mask? I believe it does.
What is the importance of people activating this social distancing? I've heard that the one thing that's in jeopardy is the foundation of our medical system. And if it becomes a worldwide epidemic, obviously there won't be enough ventilators, and this is, could be tragic. Even the people who actually need care now are suffering and not able to see doctors, having to see doctors through teledoc, not able to go in. What is the importance of social distancing at this moment, and have we flattened the curve out, as our president has said we want to try to do? We want to try to flatten that curve out. Have you seen that in the growth of this virus?
Well, the first part of your question, social distancing is absolutely critical. That and hand washing are the two things that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt, just by looking at what occurred in some of the other countries around the world and what worked and what didn't. Many scientists are very diligently looking at China, looking at Italy to see what has worked and what has not worked. And we know that social distancing and hand washing are absolutely critical.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that that you need to say or you would like to say to members of the community, our senior citizens, young people? What's the last message that you would have for those who are kind of out of the loop? Because some people, I see it on social media, some people are still taking this as a joke. And we probably were able to get ahead of it if everybody was on the same page. What would you tell people in the community on this day, on this specific day?
Right. Stay home. That's number one. If you have the opportunity to stay home to whatever extent that you can. hand washing and follow the hand washing guidelines. You've got to lather up for at least 20 seconds. And then social distancing when you have to interact, when you're at the grocery stores or you're at work, and make sure you wash every time you touch the doorknobs, you go to get gas, you go to the grocery store, wash your hands. It's so important. It's just absolutely critical. If we could all do that for about 30 days, maybe 2 weeks, if we were really lucky, I think we would see the curve flatten.
All right. Well, Doc, before I let you go, I want to ask you a personal question. Just how you are working things within your home, the comfort of you and your husband. Things that we probably could learn from. I want to ask you, is that okay with you?
Yes, of course. Only because it's you.
Okay, I thank you so much. Before we get to that, we're gonna take a quick break and pay some bills.
Honey, look at our neighbors. They're out in their backyard again, barbecuing with friends, and their kids are playing outside.
They use Aero Environmental Services. I would love to go out in our yard more, but every time we do, we get eaten alive by mosquitoes and the kids get bit by fire ants.
Maybe we should call Aero Environmental Services too.
If you want to take back your yard from unwanted pests, contact the folks at Aero Environmental Services Pest Control. With same-day service in most areas, you can start enjoying a pest-free lifestyle tomorrow.
All right, everyone, we're back. Welcome to the Michael Clayton Live Show, right here in the comfort of my own home. I'm here with Dr. Uhuru Smith, anesthesiology at Advanced Surgery Center of Tampa. Doc, I wanted to, kind of go in depth of some personal things that may be going on. I was in the Walgreens the other day having to get some medications, and I saw a lady with 2 big rolls of toilet paper, and she only wanted a price check for one. I'm like, you gotta buy both of them now, or you can't just go be touching everything. If you're gonna touch it, you touch, you buy, you touch, you buy. All right. Are you rationing out toilet paper? Has it really gotten that serious to the point to where maybe you would use 5, 6 squares, and now you're trying to get things done with 1 or 2 squares? Is it really that serious now?
Well, I'll tell you, in my household, my husband is career military. His father was in for 26 years. He was in for 20 years. His mother was in the WACs and the Navy.
Yeah.
So my husband buys toilet paper all the time. My sister-in-law bought us 20 rolls of that horrific Scott toilet tissue.
Oh, the good stuff. The good stuff.
Yeah, we were teasing her about it, that we were going to give it away. And now we were like, oh gosh, thank goodness she bought all that stuff for us. So we're well stocked. But I will say that I have been giving a lot of second thought to using paper towels, and I've been using, kitchen towels instead as much as I feel like I'm doing laundry every night, just using towels instead of paper towels, because I'm scared we're going to run out of those.
A great idea is if you get you a bidet, those things
yes.
are,
one of those Japanese toilets.
And this may sound crazy, but the coronavirus introduced me to using baby wipes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going back to toilet paper. Make me a baby again. So before I let you go, how do we get the mask? Is the patent available? Is the design available? How do you make that, easy access for people in need of building this mask?
Absolutely. So first of all, Dr. Mehta at University of Florida has made the instructions of how to make this mask completely free and available to anyone who would like it. We're going to provide that link here so that everyone can get access to that. In addition to that, my biggest recommendation would be for people to go to their OR directors, or if you're in a small facility like mine, go to your ORs and ask them to save this when they're finished with it, and then take this. You can flash it if you like in the sterilizer first and hand it over along with Dr. Mehta's instructions to a seamstress. Just ask around for a local seamstress. Guarantee one of your nurses or one of your staff can knock 10 of these masks out in one evening.
Perfect. Doc, thank you so much for joining us, and give Dr. Mehta a big hug from all of the people who are going to enjoy saving lives and protecting lives. Thank you both for your efforts during this pandemic.
Thank you for having me.